Hi, and welcome to CloudNets, where networks meet cloud. And today we're going to talk about how you introduce new features into your network. This is a painful process, and I have David with me to walk us through it. So, David, what are the trade-offs or consideration when you think about the pace in which you want to introduce a new version, new features into your network?
Great question, Duty. One thing that our operators are always dealing with is how do they get new features deployed to the network, maybe improvements that are deployed to the network, and schedule these maintenance windows in a time that are appropriate for their staff, as well as the scheduling of all these activities around it. The one thing they have to balance is the rate at which they deploy these. One, to introduce maybe risk to their customers, and maybe risking SLAs that contracts they have, which no one wants to break those, as well as getting those improvements into the networks. So that's the trade-offs they're looking at, is kind of the speed and the risk. We're kind of going a little bit slower, but maybe taking longer to get those improvements into the network, new features in the network, and kind of generate more revenue for the company.
Yeah, so this is basically a dilemma that I think many of our customers are handling. Is there a way to enjoy both worlds? So to introduce the features not in a big bang with this big risk, but still do not have the overhead and the time it takes to introduce this in baby steps?
Definitely. At DriveNets, we're introducing some automation to help with this. So traditionally what we've seen is network engineers have to stay up late at night and start moving software through the network, right? And they're doing this kind of network element by network element, router by router through the network as they're doing this. What we've introduced is a software package called Scheduled Maintenance Window, where we can actually go through, schedule the delivery of the software out to the nodes. We can determine which nodes we want on which days of the week, which hours of the day, at which rate for those sites.
How many nodes at once?
Exactly. Because maybe I don't want to go and flood one hub site and say, if I got 100 devices, push the code to 100 devices at once. Maybe I want to do baby steps for that, do 10 nodes. Okay. And at a time.
Wow. So this is actually I think the feature many have been waiting for, the ability to enjoy the best of both worlds, both do it gradually, so reduce the risk of having a bad version flooding the network, but do it fairly quickly and with low overhead. So planning in advance and automating this process so we don't have to stay up many nights in a row.
Exactly.
Okay, so thank you very much today for this. Thank you for watching. See you next time on CloudNets. Bye-bye.